All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Say it ain't so. Oh my goodness, the report that absolutely rocked me when I saw it this morning. Robbie Gould and his tenure with the Niners appears to be over, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, who on Saturday reported that Robbie Gould is going to test free agency and will kick elsewhere in 2023. And this is a kick to the gut. Robbie Gould is 40. He signed with the Niners before the 2017 season, and he has kicked for them for the last 6 years. He struggled a little bit in 2019, but he regained his form and made 66 of 78 field goal tries over the last 3 years. And they leaned on this guy in clutch moments. He had the big kick in Green Bay that sent him to the NFC Championship game in 2021. And replacing him is not going to be easy. So, kicker is now right near the top of the 49ers offseason needs list. They could work out free agent kickers in training camp. They could draft one. They got a ton of day 2 and day 3 picks. Free agency negotiations begin on March the 13th. The league year officially opens on March the 15th. All right, let's talk first a little bit about Robbie. Robbie is a great guy. I mean, he absolutely is a great guy. And I think he's a great kicker. So, he made 84% of his kicks this year. He made 98% of his PATs. His long was from 51. He doesn't have the biggest leg, but what he's known as, this guy's got 18 years of experience in the NFL. And what he's known as a guy who's just money on everything under 50. This year, he only tried 2 kicks over 50, and he made them both. He was 7 of 11 from 40 to 49 yards. He was 5 of 5 from 30 to 39 yards. He was 13 of 14 from 20 to 29 yards. He did miss 4 field goals between 40 and 49 yards over the course of the year. So that's if you look at his past years in that 40 to 49 range, he was 7 of 9 in 2021. He was 9 of 10 in 2020, 6 of 8 in 2019, 9 of 10 in 2018, 17 of 18 on those kicks in 2017. That's his Niner tenure. They're losing a really good leader. They're losing a really good, he is a leader in the room. He's an absolute, there are very few kickers that you would say, that guy's a leader. This guy's a leader. There's no question about it. He's smart. He's been there. He's a veteran. Really loved watching the guy. Robbie's got 3 boys. He lives in Chicago. He's been living out of a hotel. I'm sure, as somebody who has 3 boys of my own, you know what? I can't imagine being away from my boys and my kids that long. And Robbie at this point, I bet you he'd love to kick for the Bears. I bet you he'd love to kick, for the Pack. I bet you he'd love to kick for a team that was within driving distance of his home in Chicago. So, where do the Niners go from here is the question. All right, the top kicker in the draft is Jake Moody from the University of Michigan. He's a graduate student. He's very mature, easily the best kicker. They're expecting he's going to go he's not going to be a day 1, day 2 guy. None of the kickers in this year's draft are listed as day 1 or day 2 guys. I think you may see Jake Moody taken in the 5th round. The 49ers have a bunch of day 3 picks. The other top kickers, Ethan Mooney from North Texas, Anders Carlson from Auburn, BT Potter from Clemson, the kid from UTEP, Gavin Bakley. These are considered the top kickers. Zach Long from Tulsa, the Georgia kicker, Podlesny is a pretty good kicker. So these are the Will Reichard, who kicked for Bama this year, Chad Ryland, who kicked for Maryland. See, I don't know that if you're the 49ers, though, and you're looking at a team that you think can contend for a Super Bowl, do you want a rookie kicker? Sometimes it takes kickers a few years to make the adjustment to the NFL. I'm going to give you the guy that I think will be the replacement for Robbie Gould. And it's just a guess. But, you got Steve Wilkes coming from Carolina, Eddie Pinheiro. Wilkes awarded him the game ball late in the year. I think their last game of the year. Piniero's been really solid. He's a 27-year-old kicker. So, Robbie's 40, Piniero's 27. And if you look at field goal percentages of all the potential kickers that are available, Eddie Piniero had the highest field goal percentage in the entire league of the remaining free agents. He made 94.3% of his kicks. So anybody who's making 90% of his kicks, you got to look at. The only other guys who fit in that category would be Matt Gay, who kicked for the Rams. He made 93.3%. And Brett Maher, who we saw struggle mightily with PATs at the end of the year with Dallas, he made 90% of his kicks this year. But I think Piniero is a good fit for the 49ers. He's a little bit on the younger side. Wilkes might be able to recruit him a little bit. He only made $895,000 this year, so they could probably give him a $1.5 million or $2 million and maybe attract him. If Robbie made 3.6 million this year. If they had franchised him, that would have pushed him closer to 5. I suggested that they do such because I think he's that valuable on kicks, between 40 and 50. But we've seen some regression there, and it doesn't last forever. And in a lot of ways, you want to get off 1 year too early instead of 1 year too late. We've seen this with kickers in the past. But, Piniero made 94% of his PATs. He made 94% of his field goals. He's only 27. He made $895,000. In a lot of ways, I think Eddie Piniero might be the perfect fit to replace Robbie Gould. He's not going to replace Robbie as a leader. They're not going to, they've lost a lot of wisdom there. But the 49ers have a whole new emphasis on special teams. Brian Schneider's their coordinator, who's a veteran coordinator. He came in this year and was quite a bit of an improvement. And if you look at the 49ers, why do they improve on special teams? Well, they've got good specialists. Mitch Wishnowsky had some rough moments, but I think Ray McLeod has been made a huge impact on the special teams. George Odom, I think, led the NFL in special teams tackles. Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles is a free agent. He was a key special team guy this year. Oren Burks was another investment in special teams. So they've made the investment in special teams, and it's worked out. Now they're going to have to switch from a veteran kicker to whoever comes next. And we don't know who's coming next. I don't know if it's going to be a rookie kicker or if it's going to be a veteran kicker. If they called me and said, Krug, who should replace Robbie Gould? I would probably look up and down the list. I mean, the guys who I would feel most confident in would be like Greg Zuerlein, who kicked for the Jets, Matt Gay, who kicked for the Rams, and probably Eddie Piniero. And of those three guys, Piniero's the youngest. Piniero's the cheapest. He's coming off of the best year. So ultimately, if it was my decision, I'm saying go with Eddie Piniero. So I'll say this. I did a long interview with Robbie Gould this year. And go check out my YouTube videos on the Krug Show YouTube page, and you can watch that video. And I really love the guy, man. He's a tremendous leader. He's a tremendous, pillar of strength in that locker room. And I wish him well wherever he goes. As a family guy myself, I understand the need to be near your children. They're only, whatever age, 9, 13, 15, and his kids are young. They're only that age once. I know it sounds, for some of you who don't maybe have children, you say, come on, Krug, this is pro sports. No, man. What matters most in life are the people that you love the most. And, I don't fault Robbie at all for wanting to be closer to his family. He's been a great Niner. He'll always be considered a great Niner. They'll always welcome him back with open arms. I wish him nothing but success going forward. And if you say, give me one name that you want to replace him, I'll say Eddie Piniero. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Check out Pig in a Pickle, 2 locations in Emeryville and in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in Marin, 5 days a week in Corte Madera. Pig in a Pickle, the best barbecue in the Bay Area. And thanks to them for sponsoring The Krug Show.